Hey, 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 what's going on? I hope you all can hear me. We're going to talk today in response to a video, and I linked the video in the chat. We're going to talk about properly placing people in our lives and making sure that we really understand what that means, but not only what that means. I think that we need to understand the flip side of it. People will give us the warnings and they will tell us what it is we need to do, how it is we need to do it, but they won't tell us the opposite side of what to fill that void with. So we need to know what to fill that void with. So this happens so many times when you hear your family or your parents say, don't hang out with the bad crowd, birds of a feather flock together, and they tell you that about the negative end, but then they don't tell you, don't hang out with five bad friends, go and find five people who are doing more than you, five people who are living better than you, five people who are above you. They don't tell us that. And so we just hang out with people who are just like us, and then we end up getting the same thing. And so this is very similar to what has happened. So there is this Facebook post, and in this post, I think this guy is a pastor. I'm not familiar with him, but he talks about how people are placing the wrong people in their life, and you need to properly place the people or it's going to lead to pain and punishment and heartache. And it also a lot makes you begin to second guess and believe that you're asking for too much. And so he talks about how you have to be able to identify these people in your life. Are they a parasite? Are they a project? Are they a pawn? Or are they a partner? And of course, some of this is related towards romantic relationships, but a lot of this is really about just relationships in life, of just about regular relationships in life. And so think about this. When we talk about projects, he says that those are people that were put into your life and you were meant to just help. You go These people need help, you're helping them, and whether it is someone who may have been interested in you or it's just a friend, you know that this person cannot serve you and does not bring any benefit to your life, but you have something that can help them. And so that's why you place them in the category of a project. And that word isn't meant to degrade anybody, it just means that we have to properly place people in our lives. Then he talks about the parasites. Those are those people who come and they just take, 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 and we give, 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 and we think that we're in a relationship, a reciprocal relationship, until we realize that we're not. And you have to identify that you're going to constantly be in recovery from dealing with these people. They take all of your energy, they are hard to deal with, and you continue to go back, go back, go back. And then he talks about the pawns. Those are the people who come. And let me be clear, some of these people are in our family. Sometimes we think that these are the people that are always outside of our family, and many of them are. But I also want you to realize that many of these people, because of the nature of how many of us come from close knit families and we do a lot of family oriented things, many of these people are in your family, but we don't want to place them properly either, because we believe that because they are blood, they get special privileges, or they should be able to get a pass on a lot of the things that they do. And so when we talk about pawns, we're talking about the people who come and all they do is destroy things. They kill things, they steal things, they take things away from your life and keep you from gaining opportunities. And we don't want to think about the people in our lives like that. But this is the way I think about the pawns that I had in my life. These were the people who, when I went out with them, when I hung out with them, I would miss appointments. I would wake up hungover. I would not be any good for the thing that I needed to do the next day. They knew I needed something to do. And we don't think about those things as steal, kill, destroy. We think about those things as, oh, we was just having fun. Oh, when I want to have a good time, I go with her. We got to start placing people properly in our lives so that we can understand what's holding us back and what's moving us forward. And while we keep going towards the thing that is holding us back, we need to be going towards things that are moving us forward. But I'm going to give you the 5 type of people that you need in your life to move you forward. The last one he talks about is a partner. It's a partner. And if you're with me live, hey, what's going on? Give me a hey, what's going on in the chat, and give me some commentary on this. I want to talk about this. Let's have a good coffee chat about this topic. So give me a hey, what's up in the chat, and share this out to other people because we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this, especially as high achieving women. Most of us are past 40. And let me tell you, this is why I'm doing this live, because a lot of us, we will listen to the advice and we will eliminate the pawns, the parasites, and the projects. We'll eliminate them from our lives, but then we won't add in the things that we need to add in. And that's how we get older and we're lonely. We count on our kids for companionship. We have all of these cats and dogs because we have not put the things and replaced the people in our lives with the appropriate things to help us move forward. So that's why this live is so important, because we as women, and especially Black women, we need to understand that now that we're past 40, we understand a whole lot more. We're in a whole lot different place in our life, that it's time for us to add things to our lives that are beneficial for us, that allow us to enjoy life. We want a life by design and not by default. A lot of us are just living a life by default. We're waking up, we're going to work, we're staying at work, we're coming home, we're taking care of the kids, we're cleaning, we're doing the laundry, and we're not having fun. We're not enjoying our life. We're not having new adventures. We don't have these amazing support systems. And so we're going to talk about how to get that in our lives, how to live the life of our dreams. But the point being, we will often be able to identify, like right now, some of you all can identify who are the pawns in your life. Some of you all can identify who are the people that are projects in your life. Some of us can identify who are the parasites in our lives. And then some of us know who our partner is. Some of us have a partner that's a parasite, a project, or a pawn. So when we talk about a partner, we're in alignment. We grow together. We evolve together, not as one, but as two individuals evolving. The one thing that I can say about when I met my husband, I didn't have to help him do his business. I didn't have to help him create what he was creating. He was doing his thing and I was doing my thing. And we came together and continued to do our two things and grew a partnership together. A lot of us, we come into these relationships, not just romantic relationships, but regular relationships. And we come in saying, I can help you do this. I can help you do that. Oh, let me help you. Let me do this. And that's because we are caregivers. We were born as caregivers. After all, we are mothers and we take care of the children and we, carry a lot of burdens on us. But it's time for us to place people in our lives in their appropriate places. And so when we pick partners, we should be aligned. We should have similar values. That doesn't mean that I'm here to help you. I see you and I see your potential. A lot of us want to base things off of potential. It's not about potential. Everybody has potential, but why are you building a relationship based off of potential? But let's talk about what you need in your life. So you can likely identify who is a parasite in your life, whether we want to or not. You can likely identify who is a project, who is it that you're working on. Sometimes we have friends who are projects. We go out with them, we have a good time. We're always sending them stuff through email, through text message, trying to uplift them. We're giving them insights on new jobs and all. That's a project, people. That's a project. And then we have those pawns who show up. They always got the next deal. They always have the next thing that's happening. They're always trying to get you to go with this next scam. They're trying to come and sell you the stolen clothes. Girl, this gonna be cute on you. They're trying to send you the money off Zelle that don't belong to them. They're trying to get you set up with the PPP scam that's coming along. Those are pawns. Those are pawns. And we need to place them where they need to be placed. And then you have your partners who are aligned. You're in alignment. But let's talk about what it is that we need in our lives. First of all, we need a comforter. We need a comforter. We need someone who provides solace during those tough times. When you're going through a tough time in life, you need someone that you can call who will listen without judgment. That's the key word, without judgment. You need that person, and they're going to offer a shoulder to lean on. They are safe and they are always ready with a kind word or gesture. Who is your comforter in your life? Do we have comforters in our lives? And put it in the chat, add it to the comments if you're catching this in the replay. And then the reason why parasites, projects, and pawns are allowed into our lives and have been placed into our lives in the wrong spot is because we don't have a confronter. Everybody needs a confronter in their lives. What's a confronter? It's not a negative thing. It's not a negative thing. You need someone in your life. Many of us have what we believe to be a confronter because a lot of us will say, oh, that's my mom. Oh, that's my sister. But let's talk about it. They're the ones who give you the hard truths. They give you the hard truths by pointing out blind spots that are holding you back, but they're also holding you accountable. They push you to be better. Let me give you the correction that some of us have. We think that it's our parent, it's our sister, it's our friend. They are pointing things out, but they're not pushing you to be better. They're judging you, they're criticizing you, they are talking about you behind your back, they are gossiping. When they get off the phone with you, they call the other sister to talk to her about what you did and how stupid you are. That's not a confronter. A confronter is that person who loves you dearly and knows that they love you so much that they're willing to tell you the truth, even when it hurts, even when it hurts. And so the confronter, you got to know who it is, and they should know what their role is as well. They should know what their role is. They should be able to point out those blind spots that are holding you back. So when a parasite shows up in your life, when a parasite shows up in your life, there should be a person that is telling you, I know you like him. I know that girl is your friend. I'm going to tell y'all a story. This new person that entered my life, and I didn't ask for the new person. It's a female. We were friends. And this person entered into my life and seemed to be an amazing person. Seemed to be, oh, look at me turning my hair the wrong way. Seemed to be an amazing person, very knowledgeable, very well spoken, very likable, all of these things. And I thought the person was amazing. I absolutely thought the person was amazing. And one of my good friends who serves in the role of counselor, which is the next role we'll talk about, she said to me, she said, Chanel, I know that you like this person, but I don't think that you can see what is really happening. And I would ask that you take a step back from this relationship. I was like, oh, what? I was like, what happened? Did something happen? And she was like, nothing happened, Chanel. She said, Chanel, I know you, and I know how you will get engaged and you will get engaged into a relationship and you'll put your blinders on because you're such a positive person and you'll miss a lot of the things that are happening on the peripheral of life, and the things that are happening on the peripheral allows people to take advantage of you, people to use you, people to take clients from you, people to impose upon the things that you've built. And so if you trust me, she said, if you trust me on this, I need you to take a step back. And I said, you know what, I don't understand it, but I do trust you, and I will. Don't you know she was 100% correct? Within the next 60 days, I saw things unravel that I would not have seen unravel because I would have been caught up in the funny text messages and the invites to different events and the things that, that friends do. So when you have the right people in your life, they will warn you against the parasites, and they won't do it to tear you down. They won't do it to call you stupid. They won't do it to have something else to talk about or to gossip about. So make sure that, my point being, we like to point out what we don't need in our life, but we need to also point out what are the things that we need in order to live a rich and full and fulfilling life. So the next one is a counselor. So now let me go back and ask you, do you have a confronter in your life, and who is that confronter? Are you clear about who that confronter is, and do they understand their role? Because we also like to put people in roles and not tell them what their role is. I have an aunt who is a confronter, and I told her, I said, before now, my mom was my confronter. My mom would confront me on things, and she would tell me when I'm making decisions that are not in my best interest. She would tell me, you need to think this over. You need to sit back and think about this because I think you're making a big mistake. And so when I would think about it, I would realize there are multiple points of view, and maybe I'm missing a point of view. And so when my mom died, my confronter died as well. So then I didn't have anybody in my life to be a confronter. And a couple of times I was talking to my aunt, and my aunt pointed some things out, not always in the nicest way, but it was effective all the same. And so when she pointed these things out, I was like, oh, I would have missed that if it hadn't been for her. And so I called her and I was like, hey, I know, I know it's tough on you too because you lost your sister as well. But at this point, I ain't got nobody. Do you think that when I have a problem or I'm working through something, I can call you and you'll tell me the truth, even if the truth hurts? Because a lot of times the truth hurts. And so she was like, yeah. And so we understand that's our relationship. We like to give people titles and roles that and responsibilities that we haven't discussed with them. It's a quick message, it's a quick conversation. You don't have to have anything long drawn out carrying on. It's real quick. Would you be willing to do this for me? And I understand that it may hurt, and they say yes, and you move on in your day and continue your relationship. The third type of person that you need to have in your life, and again, if you have these people in your life, you will be able to quickly remove the parasites, the projects, and the pawns, and that is a counselor, the person who offers wisdom and advice. They often walk the path before you. They've walked this path, and they can provide insights, they can share experiences, and they can guide you through complex decisions. But who is the counselor that you have in your life? I would love for comments to be put into the chat, into the comments about who are these people, because a lot of times we don't even know where to get these people from. Let's be honest. We put people in roles that they don't belong in. A lot of us will say it's our pastor, and you don't even have access to your pastor. A lot of us will say, it's our mother, when all your mother does is judges you and criticizes you. A lot of us will say it's my sister, when your sister isn't living the life of her dreams. So how can she give you advice on yours? I'm just saying, I'm just trying to be real with y'all, because we want to live the life of our dreams. And in order to live the life of our dreams, we got to have the infrastructure for this dream life. And so, who is your counselor? When you identify who your counselor is, do they know what their role is? My good friend Rashida, she is in real life a counselor. Like, it just so happens that in real life, she's a counselor. And so when I call her, and she's also the one who pointed out to me that this relationship, that this friendship that I was about to begin or was involved in, was not for my benefit. And when she pointed it out, I didn't understand it, but I knew that she was wise, and I knew that she was living a life that was well rounded and doing the things that she wanted to do, and not over there struggling and scrounging and all of those good things. And so I took her advice. And you know what? By taking her advice, it allowed me to avoid a lot of pain, heartache, frustration, all of those crisis situations. Like, now sitting on the other side of this, I know that I would have probably already have fallen out with this person. I probably would have been mad on several occasions. It would have been all types of stuff that would have been happening that could have been avoided. And that's what we're talking about, avoiding the pain. Okay, so the next one is the challenger. The fourth person you need in your life is a challenger. Now, a challenger is different from a confronter. So let's go back. A confronter is one who gives you the hard truths. They give you the hard truths, and they point out your blind spots, and they hold you accountable. That's the key. They hold you accountable. But when we're talking about a challenger, this is the person who constantly pushes you out of your comfort zone. They are constantly getting you to get out of your comfort zone, and they encourage you to take new risks, to try new things, and to stretch your limits. But more importantly, they believe in your potential oftentimes more than you do. Listen at that. Let me get that to you just one more time. That challenger is going to push you out of your comfort zone. Who is the person that pushes you out of your comfort zone? And then some people will say, oh, well, that's my friend, and she always bringing new and exciting things. But listen to this. Do they get you to take new risk? Do they get you to try new things? Do they get you to stretch yourself? And do they believe in your potential more than you do? in your potential more than you do. So when you go to that person and you say, I want to start my own business. Oh, okay. Well, let's not just start a business. Let's start a multi six-figure business. Let's make this the best business ever. Okay, so do I know that you can do this? Or are they scared and fearful for you? Or do they only challenge you when it comes to fun? Or do they challenge you in all aspects of your life? So who is your challenger in your life? And if you don't have one, sis, come on, we got to find one. How do we find one? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Let's get through the last one. The last one is a celebrator. And listen at this. Some of y'all gonna say, I got two people in my life and they serve all those roles. That's not the way that works. You should not have one person who does everything for you. Some people will say, my husband is my best friend. He my celebrator. He my challenger. That is not possible. I'm gonna move on. Celebrator. Every win, big or small, deserves celebration. Period. Who is the person that's celebrating with you and for you? This person should be your personal cheerleader that is cheering you on in everything you do. They are celebrating your achievements and reminding you of how far you have come. Who is that person? So, in order for us to have a rich and fulfilling life, we need a comforter, someone who's going to comfort us in our hard times, give us a nice word, and not judge us. Even when we've done something stupid, we've already judged ourselves. We don't need you to judge us. Even when we've made a bad mistake, you went out here, you bought that $700,000 house. You knew that you was only making $85,000 a year. So why would you go and buy a $700,000 house? I don't even know how they gave you the loan for the house. That's not what a comforter does. The comforter is going to say something like, you know what? We all make mistakes and that's okay. But I know that you will be able to rebound from this. You've rebounded from more than this. You are bright. You are intelligent. This is not the end of the world. They're not telling you how stupid you were. They're not telling you how dumb that decision was. They're not doing any of that. Then you have that confronter who's going to point out those blind spots and who's going to let you know. Now, if you had talked to that confronter before you bought that house, they would have ran that budget down to you and said, okay, now the house note on this house is $4,000 and you only make $6,000 a month. So how is that going to work out? Now, are you sure you've considered this? Because one crisis situation and you're going to be in trouble. That's what your confronter would do. And then they're going to give you some more options. They're going to say, well, do you have to have the house in that neighborhood? Do you want the amenities or the neighborhood? Because if it's the amenities you want, you can buy that same house in a different neighborhood and it will maybe cost less. But if it's the neighborhood you want, maybe you can consider buying less house and still get the neighborhood. So your confronter is going to push you to be better and not put yourself in terrible situations. And your counselor is going to give you wisdom and advice. Your challenger is going to push you out of your comfort zone, out of your comfort zone. And they often believe in your potential more than you do yourself. And your celebrator is going to celebrate all of your wins, big and small. Now, think about it. If you had these people in your life, aren't they going to point out when there's a parasite there? Aren't they going to give you words of wisdom about that parasite, about that project, about that pond? They're going to tell you, okay, girl, every time you get with that friend, she have you out here doing stuff. You always running, you tired, you missing appointments. You need to evaluate that friendship. When you're working with a project and you're giving, and that person is not feeding into you and you're exhausting yourself, one of your people in your life is going to point that out to you. But the reason why they can't point it out to you is because they're not there. They're not there. You have not put these people in your life. So where do we get these people from? They don't just show up. A lot of times it's not in the circle that we run in. It's not in the circle that we run in, but we want to stick to the same circle that we've always had. T.I. said something that really resonated with me the other day. He said, let me tell you what T.I. said. T.I. said, trees don't hang around with the grass, even though they started in the same place. Did y'all get that? Did that do something for you? Because that did something for me. He said, trees don't hang around with the grass, even though they started in the same place. Come on now, y'all know that's a whole word. Don't sit here acting like that ain't a whole word. And so we want to hang out, and and notice that the tree didn't move, it just grew up. It understood I need to hang out with the people up here. I need to hang out with the branches. I need to hang out with the leaves, not with the grass. It never moved. So you can be from where you're from and you can still have, those friends, but you need to add some friends to it. And so what happens with high achieving women, we'll realize the parasites, we'll get rid of them. We'll realize the projects, we'll get rid of them finally. We'll realize the ponds, we'll get rid of them finally. But we won't replace them with anything. Or we'll replace them with more parasites. We'll replace them with more ponds. We'll replace them with more projects. And then we get rid of them. And then we get tired and we say, I'm just going to be by myself. I'm tired. I'm tired of dealing with this getting on my nerves. I'm done. That's because you didn't go out to find your comforter. You didn't go out to find your challenger. You didn't go out to find your confronter. You didn't go out to find your celebrator or your counselor. You accepted what was in your circle. And if it wasn't there in your circle, you said it's not possible. And you went and got a cat. You went and got 2 dogs. You just said, I'm just going to keep my grandbaby and my grandbaby going to give me, going to occupy my time. Well, what's going to happen when the grandbaby get big and have friends and don't want to be bothered with grandma no more? What's going to happen when the nieces and nephews get of age and they want to hang out with their own friends and don't want to hang out with auntie no more? What's going to happen? What's going to happen when you're 65, 70 years old and you've eliminated all of the people from your life, which you needed to because they were parasites, projects, and pawns? You might still have your partner, but that's it. So now your partner has to be your everything. Your partner has to be your celebrator, your challenger, your confronter. And we already know that don't work. We already know that does not work. So let's build the connections that we need to build now. And understanding the roles, that means that your challenger may not be your best friend. It may not be somebody who you hang out and kick it with every day. It may be a person who you met at a networking event and they're really good at what they do. You all get along. Maybe you all talk 2 or 3 times a month. This is not somebody who, these people are not people that you talk to every day and kiki with and ka with on the phone every day. And we got to understand that's for the girlfriend who went to school with you. That's for the girl who you hang out with, tell all your business to. That's not for the people who are in these roles. So we have to understand how to place people in our lives and what their roles are. And once we understand that, we can then begin to build the life of our dreams. And I'm telling you, if you have the right people in your life, they will prevent the wrong people from staying in your life. I'm not saying those people won't come into your life, but if you have the confronter, the comforter, the challenger, the counselor, and the celebrator, when those pawns and parasites and projects show up, the other people are going to help you to place them in the right bucket and to move them on along if they need to be moved along. But when we only have 2 friends, a lot of us, we got 2 friends. 2 friends, that's it. And they're our everything. If one of them die, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Life will be forever changed. You'll never be able to do anything. And as we get older, we need to prepare ourselves for an amazing retirement age, for an amazing life of what we want to call retirement. In other words, we want to design our lives and not live a life by default. We want to be able to have our girls' night and our girls' trip and our book club and our movie day and our breakfast or brunch day. These shouldn't all be the same people. Why would I count on one person to show up for me 10 times in a month? That doesn't make sense. Or one person to show up 5 times in a month. And then if they can't show up, I don't have anybody to go. I don't have anybody to talk to. If they're busy, I don't have anybody to talk to. No, you need different people in your life to have different roles. And once you've identified who these people are, you can just tell them in a casual conversation, I love the way you always celebrate me. I'm going to, do you mind if I just call you my celebrator? And when I need to be celebrated, can I call you? Can I call you? Because, I oftentimes forget to celebrate my own success and my own progress. And I need for somebody to remind me of all of the good work that I do. People who are true celebrators, they don't mind at all. But if you try to get a confronter to be a celebrator, that's not going to work. That's not going to work, people. And so we got to stop, just keep moving forward, eliminating people from our lives, because again, we get told what not to do, but we very seldom get told what to do to get that positive, productive outcome that we really desire. We just know what to do not to get the negative outcome, which are two different things. Those are two different things. Don't hang out with the thugs. Don't date the drug dealer. Okay, but you didn't tell me the other side of what I should date. So I went and dated somebody average, somebody who was a project, and I didn't know because he wasn't a drug dealer. So I went and got me a project. That's better than a drug dealer, right? Nobody told you what you needed to replace the drug dealer with. Nobody told you. And so that's why we have to talk about this now, so that as we're getting older, it's not too late for us, ladies. It's not too late for us. We're planning our sister trip right now. We're picking between places like the Los Cabos, I think that's how you pronounce it. Mexico. We looked at what is that? Cancun in Mexico, Hawaii, and some other places. And so there are between 4 and 6 of us going. It was traditionally just the sisters, but we have a couple of good sister friends who want to go, so they may end up going. And one of the things that happened is my sister sent the link to the Maldives. I think that's how you pronounce that as well. So she sent the link to the Maldives, and it was beautiful. It had these bungalows on the water and all of the like all of this beautiful stuff that would be happening, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. And then the price came up at the end. It was very affordable. It was $4,000 for 2 people, which will make it $2,000 a piece. And it was for 6 days. And so I was like, that is a good price. That's a good thing. Like I think we can make that happen. And so the planner and me began to say, well, where are the Maldives? Like, where is that located? And so we're trying to figure out, like, where is this located? What is it in Asia? Is it? So we look it up, and it's a independent island in the Indian Ocean. Well, as soon as it said the Indian Ocean, I was like, the Indian Ocean. Wait a minute. Now that's far. I was like, now I know the oceans and where they located at. I was like, nah, sis, that's a long ways away. That's a long flight. So then we get to looking up flights. Don't y'all know that flight is 36 hours because you got 3 layovers? And I was like, oh, yeah, we can cancel that. Oh, no, we can take that off the list. So I'm already in the it's a no stage, right? And so my sister says, and my sister would be the one who, gets me, who pushes me to do more than what I would normally do. So she's my challenger. And she said, so you want to go to the Maldives, but you don't want to take the flight. So when would you be able to take this flight? She said, Chanel, we're not 20 anymore. So you're going to not do it because of a long flight, but then at 60, 65, 70, you'll want to do it. And the flight's still going to be long, but you're going to be older. Wouldn't you rather take that long flight now and be a little bit more comfortable than 10 years from now or 5 years from now? She was like, I think you're thinking about this wrong, because I know you can do this. You've taken long flights before. And she was like, it's not like you're going to spend 36 hours in the air. You're flying for 8 hours, getting off the plane. She said the first layover is 3.5 hours. She said we can go in the airport, grab us something to eat, have us a nice glass of wine, use the restroom, relax. She said, and it's not like we're about to fly economy. This is something that we would need to fly first class in. She said, then we'll board the plane. We'll do another 9-hour flight. And then you get off, you got a 4-hour layover. And she was like, then we can go, we can see that airport. One airport is in London, and the other airport, I don't even know where that one was located. It gave the letters, but I don't know where it was located. And she was like, and we'll see and get to experience, some of the people in that airport. And then she said, in that last flight is like 13 hours, and that's actually over the Indian Ocean. And so she was like, and then you'll be in your location. She said, so we got to stop being scared to try new things and limiting ourselves to the place that's closest to us. She was like, yeah, Mexico is closer. Yeah, that's 6-7 hours away. She was like, yeah, we can go to Las Cabos. That's only, a standard flight for what we normally do. She said, but don't we want something better? Don't we want something greater? And I was like, girl, all right then. You won that argument. All right, let's make this happen. But what happens when you don't have those people in your life? What happens when those are not, when you don't have that? You end up not getting new experiences, not doing new things, not meeting new people. And of course, we'll meet new people. So, where do you find these people at? You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to get out of your backyard. Go to some conferences, join some social media groups, join some networking organizations, and go there with the intention to network and not to make friends. There is a difference. Notice that all of this, I said these are relationships and not friendships. Not at one time did I say this was a friendship. These are relationships. And so in relationships, women often confuse a friendship with a relationship. So when you have your confronter, that's a relationship. A challenger, that is a relationship. Just like when you have a partner, that's a relationship. So we got to stop confusing friendships with relationships. You can have all of these people in your life, but you also have to reciprocate. So let me ask you, I'm asking you, what is your role that you play in other people's life? Are you the celebrator? Are you the challenger? Are you the counselor? Are you the confronter? Or are you the comforter? And don't say I'm all of them, because you're not. You are not five roles in people's lives. You need to figure out where your strength is, where you shine at, where you can provide the most value, and be that. For me, for most people, I am their confronter or their challenger. I am always going to push you to do better, to have more, to have greater, to be more, to expect more, because I truly believe that abundance is your birthright. And I'm okay being the challenger and the confronter, because I'm also going to hold you accountable, and I'm not going to let you play small. I'm not. I'm going to push you to do better, to be better, to want more. So in most people's lives, I play the role of either confronter or challenger. And I understand that. When they call me, they are calling for me to tell them the truth. They are calling because they know I'm going to say the thing that the other people won't say to them. But it takes more courage to tell people the truth than it does to tell them a lie. And I always say, do you want the truth, or you want me to take care of your feelings? And they say, no, I want the truth. Now, I try my best not to hurt the feelings, but the truth hurts. When I say to you, the guy that you're seeing likely only wants you for what you can provide. And if you're okay with that, that's fine by me. But you know that you make 3 times more money than him. He's living in your house. You're taking care of his kids. What is he providing for you? They need that dialogue. They need that reflection. They need that mirror put up to them, and that I have to come up with the words to be able to say this without judging them, without hurting their feelings too much, and without destroying them. I have to come up with words. I have to come up with a way to present this. I have to come up with metaphors and analogies to be able to help them through these problems. But what I don't try to pretend to be is the celebrator. That doesn't mean that you never celebrate. It just means that that's not your dominant role. I got a niece whose birthday is coming up on the 31st of January, and a best friend whose birthday is on the 30th of January. And I'm already contemplating how I'm going to celebrate. I love celebrating, but I'm not your celebrator. Not every win, big or small, I'm not going to celebrate it. I don't even celebrate my own wins, big or small. I have to, like birthdays, I believe in. Mother's Day, we're going to go all out. But I'm not the person for that role. I'm also probably not the person for the role of comforter because I believe there is no reward in your comfort zone. And so when you call me telling me about what happened, I'm probably not going to be the one to say this is a safe space. You can lean on me. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be like, let's go, next level. Yeah, that right there, that was wrong, but now it's time to move on to the next thing. So I know that I wouldn't serve well in the role of comforter. So you got to know what is the role that you serve in other people's lives. Are you the confronter? Are you the comforter? Are you the counselor, the challenger, or the celebrator? And when you reflect on your current circle, as you reflect on your current circle, can you identify someone in each of these roles? And write it down. Put it down so you can clearly see it. Label it in your phone. Put it in your phone. Aunt Bob, confronter. Rashida, counselor. So that you know these are the people that I need to call. And if you find a category that is empty, it's a sign that you might need to expand your circle. You can also label who are the parasites. Put a P beside it. If they're a parasite, a project, or a pond, put a P beside it. Go in your phone. Look in your phone now. If they're a parasite, a project, or a pond, and again, if you're looking for the video that I'm referencing, it's in the details of this video. You can click that link, it'll take you straight to that Facebook video. I think the guy is a pastor and he talks about partners, parasites, projects, and ponds. Everything that he says is 100% valid. Everything that he says is 100% true. I'm just saying, while we're removing all those people, we need to be replacing those people. And if we had the right people in our lives, they will prevent us from keeping the wrong people in our lives for so long. It would also keep so many women from growing old by themselves with no networks, no connection, no fun, no joy, and not living the life of their dreams. We need to work on this now. We got plenty of time. Let's make it happen. So that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Share this live with somebody who needs to hear this message. Leave me a comment. I would love to respond back to your comments and engage with me and tell me what other videos you want to talk about. This is I was a school educator, high school English teacher, and then administrator. And I decided I didn't want to live my life like that anymore. I decided that I wanted to live the life of my dreams. And so that's why I come here to you all today, because I knew what it was that I didn't want, but I didn't really know what it was that I wanted. And so when you don't know what it is you really want, you end up living a life by default. Anybody who comes along and says something, oh, that sounds interesting, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to try this. Let's do this. But you didn't design anything. And so I decided how I wanted to live my life, where I wanted to live, what type of life I wanted to live, what conveniences I wanted to have, the type of people I wanted to have in my life, the things that I wanted to do with my time, and all of those things. And once I realized that the school system could not provide those things for me. And so I had to make a different decision if I was going to live a life by design. And so that's what I do now. I create my own income through educational consulting, going into schools, supporting leaders with leadership coaching, which was what I did in my former life as a building leader. And I also coach women on how to live a life of their dreams and build businesses that will support their dream life. So leave me a comment about what you want me to talk about, and I will be more than happy to do it. Thank y'all for joining me today. And let's share this video, spread this video so that we can get some action on this. Melissa says, great topic to cover. The people in our circle can make all the difference in the world. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you. So I'll see you all next week. We'll do another coffee chat next week.